Hi guys, we'll be solving an O-level past paper question from the year 2021. The session is July-August. This is question number 7. This question is based on sequences. So let's start. The question says, here are the first four terms of a sequence 1, 7, 13 and 19. Find an expression for the nth term of this sequence. So if I look at these numbers, if I look at 1 to 7, if I go from 1 to 7, that's a difference of 6. If I go from 7 to 13, that's another difference of 6. And from 13 to 19, that's also a difference of 6. So the common difference over here is 6. N represents the term number. And one more thing. So if I talk about the term before this, that would be 1 minus 6. So 1 minus 6 gives us negative 5. Therefore, the term before the first term is going to be negative 5. Therefore, if you connect all of these, since 6 is being multiplied with the number of terms, yes, and then we are subtracting 5 from it. Let's put this to test. This is the expression. So let's find the term before the first term. So it should be 6 times 0 minus 5. This gives us 0 minus 5. This gives us negative 5. So our expression is clear. It is 6n minus 5. We write our answer over here, 6n minus 5. The next part says, Lee says that there are no even numbers in the sequence. Use the expression for the nth term to explain why he is correct. Okay. So he says that there are no even numbers in this sequence. How is that possible? If we subtract even and odd numbers, when we have an even number, for example, if we talk about 18 and we subtract an odd number from it, let's take an odd number, let's talk about 7. 7 is an odd number. When we subtract both of these numbers, an even and an odd number, we always get an even number. In this case, is going to be 11. So our answer is going to be even minus an odd number will always give us an odd number. Okay, I hope this makes sense. Let's move on. The next part says, here are the first four terms of a different sequence. Find an expression for the nth term of this sequence. Okay, in this sequence, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at numerators and denominators separately. So if I talk about 2, 4, 8, 16. The difference between 2 and 4 is 2. The difference between 4 and 8 is 4. And the difference between 8 and 16 is 8 as well. Now, since the difference is all even numbers, one more thing that you need to notice over here is that they are all factors of 2. So therefore, if we talk about the term before the first term, it is supposed to be what? It is supposed to be 2 to the power of 0. This gives us 1. So the term before this would be 1, and then from 1 to 2, you would have a difference of 1 over here. Okay, so if I write down what the numerator's expression would be, I can say that it is going to be 2 to the power of n. Let's put this to test as well. So since 2 to the power of n is the numerator's term, if I plug in 2 and then I put in the power of 4 into it, okay? So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 always gives us 16. If I plug another value, for example, if I plug in 2 to the power of 3, this gives us 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. And therefore, if I plug in 2 to the power of 5, this gives us 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which gives us 32. So the numerator's expression is 2 to the power of n. Now let's talk about the denominators. 9, 16, 25 and 36. If you look at all these numbers, all of them are square numbers. So let's write down all the square roots of these numbers. So the first number has a square root of 3. The number after that has a square root of 4. Then the number is the square root of 5 and then 6. So we can assume that the number before this would have a square root of 2. And the square of 2 would give us 4. So the 0 term is going to be 4 over here. So if you look at this information, that means if nothing is added to anything, for example, 0 represents n over here. And if we add what to it? If we add 2 to it and then square it, because 2 is the number that is being squared in order for us to get the term. The first term would come out to be 2 squared, which gives us 4. And if I say that n is 1, so if I add 1 and 2 and then I square this, I would get 3 square, which gives me 9 over here. So this is proving our theory. If I add 2 plus 2 and then square this, I would get 4 square, which gives us 16. So the denominator's expression is going to be n plus 2 whole squared. Okay, so the final expression, let's write it over here, is going to be 2 to the power of n over n plus 2 whole square. I hope this makes sense. Let's write the value over here, 2 to the power of n over n plus 2 squared. It is always better to plug in the values of n into these expressions and then check your answers once again. Okay, let's move on. The question says the nth term of another sequence is given by un is equal to 3n square minus 6n plus 5. The first term in the sequence with a value greater than 2000 is uk. Find the value of k. So what they mean is that if we have the first expression, which is 3n square minus 6n plus 5, and if a term is put into this, the value that we get in the end is going to be 2000. So if we solve this equation further, if we simplify this, we have 3n square minus 6n plus 5 minus 2000 equal to 0. So this becomes 3n square minus 6n minus 1995. This is equal to 0. Now since the question says find the value of k, in order to find the value of k, the easiest way to find the value of k is going to be by using the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac. Then we divide this by 2a. Let's find the values of a, b and c. A is going to be 3, b is going to be negative 6, and c is going to be negative 1995. Okay, 3 years after I was born. Anyways, so the values of x would be negative times negative 6 plus minus under root negative 6 whole squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 1995, and this is 2 times 3. Okay, so let's plug all of this into the calculator. First of all, we get 6 over here plus minus over 6. Okay, let's see what the square root gives us. So it's 36 plus 4 times 3 times 1995, and this gives us 23,976. 23,976. Okay, so let's find the square root of this first. When we find the square root of this, it comes out to be 154. If we add 6 to it and then divide by 6, the term that I get is 26.8. And let's see what the other value would be. So it's 6 plus the square root of 23,976, and we divide it by 6, and the value that we get is, we had to subtract it. So 6 minus under root 23,976, and then we divide by 6. The other value comes out to be negative 24.8. We can't use the negative value in this case, so our answer is going to be 26.8. Let's write the value over here, 26.8. Or we can say that it is going to be 27, because that's a better way of writing it. So let's write 27 over here as the value of k, and we're done with the question. I hope this question made sense. The complete working of the entire question is present in the description below for you to download. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching.